So some people will say Easter is a pagan holiday because its timing is based on the full moon, the spring equinox, and it's named after the goddess Ishtar. While actually, Easter's origins are actually Jewish, it's the Christian equivalent of Passover. The word Easter is of English origin. Ishtar was worshipped in Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq, not England, which is thousands of miles away. Despite sounding similar, the two words are unrelated. The 8th century British historian Bede claimed the word Easter came from the name of the month in which it occurred, basically April. He said this month used to be called Easter, though this was no longer true in his day. He also thought the month was named after a Germanic goddess who is no longer worshipped. Some people have also inferred that Easter is the English derivation of the Greek Astarte, but there is no linguistic or historical basis for this. In addition, the English word Easter is said to have derived from the Anglo-Saxon pagan goddess named Eastore. This theory was based on an incorrect conclusion by Saint Bede the Venerable about the etymological origins of the English month that coincides with spring and a celebration of Easter, Easter Month. But as Anthony McRoy, a fellow of the British Society for Middle East Studies, notes, there is no historical basis for this derivation. He notes that Saint Bede himself said his conclusion was based on his interpretation rather than a generally held position or proven fact. And Bede is the only source who mentions this goddess, so he may be incorrect. Regardless, this applies only to the origin of the English word, not the origin of the feast. Its origin is actually revealed by its name in other languages. In Italian, it's Pasqua, in Spanish, Pasca, in Portuguese, Pascoa, in French, Pasquis, in Danish, Pasque, in Dutch, Pasen, in Swedish, Påsk, and so on. All these derive from the Latin Pascha or Greek Pascha, both of which are words for the Jewish feast of Passover, Hebrew, Pascha. The event Easter celebrates the resurrection of Jesus and is celebrated in conjunction with Passover because Jesus was crucified at Passover and rose the following Sunday. The reason Easter's timing is based on the full moon after the spring equinox is because that was the timing of Passover on the Jewish calendar. The law of Moses requires Passover to be celebrated on the 14th of the month of Nisan, which is in Leviticus 23:5. This is a spring month that contains the equinox, and because the Jewish months begin on the new moon, the 14th fell on the full moon. The timing of the feast thus is Jewish, not pagan. What's ultimately important is what Easter signifies today, the resurrection of Jesus, not where it came from. Also, the mistake of judging something based on where it came from rather than what it has been called is a genetic fallacy.